Hey mom, if you're really struggling this holiday season, I want you to know you're not alone. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about what's going on. If you're feeling caught in the middle of a caregiving storm where you're taking care of your kids and your partner and making sure that their holiday is great and perfect and magical, but you're also taking care of your parents, your aging parents who maybe have things like dementia, or maybe they're ill this holiday season, and you're just like smack dab in the middle of a caregiving sandwich. On top of that, you might be experiencing perimenopause or menopause symptoms, and you're just tired. It's okay. Let's talk about some things that I think it's important to remember. We can't talk about anything serious without earrings, so let's put on the earrings. I just got these for Christmas. What do you think? First, I want to say this. I want to name it. I want to name the fact that it's a lot. And you feeling worn out is completely normal. There's nothing wrong with you. You're not doing it wrong. I just want to tell you, if you're feeling done or off this holiday season, you just can't tune in, I get it. And you're completely normal. The amount that's required of us in this position to give and give and give. You know, I was at Christmas with my family, and I have kids of different ages who are in different developmental stages who, I won't name any names of kids, but who are just at that stage where giving parents a hard time is just par for the course. It's just like, that's their job. And it just makes things extra difficult, because I'm doing everything. And on top of that, it feels like it's not appreciated. And it's so easy for like rage to feel like it's just right under the surface. And I think so many of us go like, what's wrong with me? Is the answer to just like run away? Like what's happening? I want you to know that taking a breath in that moment, going into your room, closing the door, maybe not coming out of bed until much, much later, or letting people fend for themselves during a meal. Like, these are all things that you can give yourself permission to do when you're feeling like everything is just bubbling up on the surface. So the first thing I want us to be able to do is give ourselves permission to nurture ourselves. And I think we also need to give ourselves permission to like be fine one moment and then to feel really triggered in another moment. I think that that's a really common part of this stage in life, where we think we're holding it together and then something happens and it's like, I guess I'm not as together as I thought right now. And I feel like I've gone from fine to like ready to explode, or fine and like ready to cry and have a meltdown. Like, those things are fine hormonally. Sometimes things are changing a lot for us in this season, and things that we used to be able to handle in terms of stressors, they really have more of an impact on us, on our nervous system, more than they ever did. And so I think the other permission we need to give ourselves is not that we're weaker. It's not that we're like, what's wrong with us? We used to be able to handle stress and now we can't. I think what we need to say to ourselves is, what do I need in this moment? This is a judgment-free zone. I'm not going to ask why, because why is this happening it's a question that gets me nowhere. The question I need to ask myself is, what do I need? What's my body asking for? What's my nervous system asking for? What does my mind need right now? What am I feeling right now? Maybe you don't have an answer to that. So maybe it's just like, okay, do I need to eat something? Am I tired? I kind of think about it the same way when our kids were little and they, really little, like not walking, they were just babies, and they would start to cry, and you'd kind of go down your checklist of like, are they wet? Have they eaten? Is it nap time? Is something poking them? Are they uncomfortable? Are they cold? You would go down this list to see what's wrong. I think we're at that place where we need to ask ourselves, like, we need to have a list, a nurturing list for ourselves to be like, am I tired? Am I hungry? Am I cold? Like, am I uncomfortable right now? Are my pants too tight? Do I need to change into sweats? Do I need to stop caring about something that I'm holding? I was making phone calls during Christmas to all of my family because we live in Portugal now. Christmas is spent connecting a lot on the phone with people that are back in the States. And so I was going down my list, and some of those conversations were really hard because it was parents that were telling me about maybe a hard time that they were having. My dad has dementia, and it was kind of not a great day for him. And so although he recognized me, he was a little bit more confused. And I just, in that moment, had this like experience of like a deep, like, like grief, and kind of like knocked me back to out of like Christmas and into like the reality of the situation. And that's hard, And so what did I do? Like, I felt really down after that call. Like I had just used a lot of energy. And it makes me sad that connecting with my dad, the end result is that, like, just drained and feeling grief, and not necessarily wanting to bring that into the Christmas vibes of the family. And so I didn't really want to get off the phone and be like, guys, listen to my woes right now. And so I just went and I took a nap. Like, I just got off the phone, and then I actually just pulled the covers over my head and I just went to sleep. We have to be okay to give ourselves permission to do those kinds of nurturing things for ourselves, especially during these like not high stakes, but like high engagement seasons where there's a lot going on, a lot of coordination. I say all of this to say because Christmas was yesterday, and we're going, we do the 12 days of Christmas, and we just do Christmas all the way until New Year's here in our family. We just do activities and have a lot of fun and get together and eat. And so we're celebrating a lot. And then comes the talk of New Year's resolutions. And then you're going to be bombarded with like all the gyms and all the things you should be doing for yourself and the commitments you want to make to yourself to be healthier, better, stronger, all of that, where I just feel like I want to stop for a second and put something out there into the world for you to find, to be like, can we not over the next couple of days do that to ourselves? It's been a lot already, and we don't need that kind of energy. We don't need that kind of energy to infiltrate us right now, to remind us about everything we're not and how hard we have to work to get to be better. I want you to know something today. You're great. You're doing a great job. You are alive and you are breathing. You are in your body. You are more than just your thoughts. You're in your body. And that is a beautiful thing. And I just want to name that for those of us who need to hear this message in this season. Like, it's okay to do what we need to tune out all of the noise and to really just focus on ourselves. So much of this season takes us out of that. We're really like focus on our family. You know, the other day I posted on social a reminder to moms to be like, be sure you get in the pictures too. Like in all the holiday pictures, I found myself on Christmas just like trying to capture it because I was so happy to be with my family and I was so grateful, and I was just capturing all the moments about Christmas and I was making sure to capture each one of them. And I realized that like I wasn't in any pictures. No one was doing that to capture me, you know, and I wasn't doing it. I wasn't capturing myself. I think that's just really indicative of like what this season is for us. We're really busy focusing on everyone else and we disappear. We disappear like from the events. It's like, were we even there? You know, we shrink because we're not sure anymore what we want. We're just overwhelmed a lot of times. And so we just have a tendency to just be tired and quiet and small. And yet we're such an integral part of our families. And we're such an important part to the magic that everyone is experiencing. All of the emotional labor that you have put in. I want to honor that today. Maybe no one else in your life sees that. But I want you to know in this space where you are, I know you've worked hard. And maybe no one else in your life has told you thank you, but thank you for everything that you did to make this holiday season beautiful for everyone. Just be sure you remember that you were there too. Document that. Get in those photos. Even if you're not, if you hear the inner critic telling you all the things that you don't like about yourself, just get in those photos because you were there. You're important. It's important that people see you and remember you. Okay, I just felt like it was really important to make this video. If you resonated with this, if this helped you, I would love for you to just do a thumbs up so I know that it mattered to someone out there to hear this message. This channel is called The Aliveness Project. It's all about noticing what makes us come alive and what makes us feel joyful. And in this season where we're making sure that everyone around us is feeling joyful and alive and seen, I want you to have that moment where you ask yourself, maybe do it with me. Maybe we put our hands over our hearts and we just take a big breath, a big grounding breath, and then we just, in the next 30 seconds, just think about something that makes us feel so joyful. It could be something that happened today, something right now, or just something that you really connect with that brings you joy and gratitude. Just think about that thing and just say thank you. Take another big breath. you just took those seconds to notice. And that's what the Aliveness Project is. Just notice, just stop and notice. There's no right way to do it. There's no wrong way to do it. It's just that the more that we notice who we are, where we are, what our breath is and what brings us joy, where our breath is, that we can feel it. We remember we're more than just our thoughts. We are a body. We are a person. And our joy matters. The more we can notice that, then the more alive we can feel and the more connected we can be to ourselves and to our joy.